Hi, welcome to my talk. My name is Chen. I am a PhD student at University of Michigan. Today, I want to talk about the project that I did when I was interning at Snapchat Research. We developed this system called Sifter that combines human input and video processing techniques to rapidly select and collect thematic relevant and interesting video from large corpus for users to further consume. So many online platforms rely on content curation techniques to help their users to consume interesting content. Oftentimes, platforms take one of the two approaches for content curation. One is a button-up approach, such as Reddit on the left, that relies on end-user upvotes to identify high-quality content, or a top-down approach like Twitter Moment or Snapchat Discover on the right, which have a more editorial control over how to curate curated content for their users. And it relies on expert curators staffed by the platforms to identify and organize compelling content. And in this paper, we're focusing on the top-down approach, and we use the curated content that was publicly available content on Snapchat to conduct our research. So Snapchat has a section called a Snap Discover. At the time of this research, this section had constantly updated collection of snaps submitted by Snapchatters throughout the community, and they are collected and categorized by to capture a place, event, or topic from different points of view. And each collection often included 10 to 20 snap videos, and it was curated using users' publicly posted snaps. Only Snapchat staff members were able to curate this type of stories on the platform. And so this is a top-down approach. So a story usually includes name, headline, and the themes. And the themes can vary from campus story to local news, local city news. So this diagram shows how curators at Snapchat may perform the curation tasks in practice at the time when we did this research. So first, the curator will ideate and come up with a topic of story. For example, a topic could be videos related to going back to school. And then they come up with queries to search snaps from the internal database. Among the thousands of return videos, their next job is to find 100 of them, let's say, that are eye-catching and thematic relevant. And then they will refine their selection even more and edit the videos and put them together into a story and finally publish to users. So this project is focusing on the sifting step, where the input is tens of thousands of snap videos returned from query, and the output is a refined set of eye-catching and thematic relevant videos, often dozens, for the final selection. And the goal is to really making the sifting process more structural, scalable, and time efficient for curators. So why is video curation a hard problem? So based off our interviews with the curators as well as reading through prior literature, we summarized a list of problems and challenges in the space. First, the current curation practice is hard to scale. There are too many user-generated content every day, and the current practice you saw just now was mostly relying on a few content curators at Snap. In addition, reviewing videos is more time-consuming and tedious compared to review of photos and text. Second, the process is highly selective. We found that each curator has a different curation criteria, and even each topic is different as well. So this makes it really hard because we don't really have a ground truth. Third, the curation practice is hard to articulate by the curators. Their strategy can be very complex and depend on many contexts. So we have to rely on curator expertise on this task a lot. So to address these challenges, we developed a Sifter, a system that uses automated video processing and crowdsourcing techniques to sift video content for a given theme. This diagram shows the final architecture. Sifter has a three-component pipeline, and this is designed iteratively by running multiple small studies. Here I'm going to walk you through how it works on the high level. First, the automated filters use basic video properties such as duration and the content quality, such as motion movement, to filter out unqualified snaps from thousands of input videos. And this can help to scale by reducing the search space. And then the output of the video is sent to a two-layer crowd workflow that has a consensus voting mechanism for video reviewing. And this helps to mitigate single workers' subjective biases. And we also present the workers the contextual information, including the story names, headlines, queries, and we also provide some example videos from other curated stories. And all these design decisions are made throughout the studies. And here I'm going to talk about the one that relates to the UI in detail. So to enable workers to review videos at scale, we explore different UI combinations and finalize the Sifter UI, which is shown in the video. So there are 5 major features on Sifter UI. The first one is that videos are displayed batch by batch with 8 per page. So this is because a single page often requires scrolling actions, which will change the UI layout, therefore increase workers' cognitive load. All the videos right now are auto-playing in loop. This is to reduce the navigation effort. The progress bar helps workers to self-track the number of selections they have so far, and also the timer on the top right reinforce the idea of there's no need to watch all the videos. And finally, the instruction is always be presented with the full context on each page. So we evaluated the quality and speed of Sifter by using 12 Snap Discover stories that had been previously curated. And this provides us more than 34,000 videos. The table on the right-hand side shows the information in detail. As mentioned, the current practice relies on curators' expertise. However, we hypothesize that Sifter can enable non-expert crowd workers to also perform the task in a comparable way. And so we hired 8 non-expert crowd workers from a freelancing platform where we require no video production background. So the support of this hypothesis will have a huge positive impact on the curation techniques, as it will show the potential of scaling video curation significantly. And finally, we hired 3 workers to evaluate the generated videos, and all of them were required to have video production background as well as Snap video curation experience. So we found that Sifter used significantly less time on picking the videos than the staff curators. And content quality-wise, we asked the 3 evaluators to blindly rate randomly selected videos from 2 sets, and we found that the ratings of 11 of them made by Sifter were indistinguishable from the ones that were curated by the staff members. We also find 3 interesting patterns based on the interviews we had. First, we found that one compilation generated by Sifter that was rated lower had the report from workers saying that they are unfamiliar with the content. So T36 said, I found on choosing eye-catching videos because I'm not familiar with title. We suggest that in the future, researchers can adapt workers' background knowledge when they do task assignments. And second, we find that the individual workers can have a strong negative impact on the quality of the results. We think that this is because we don't have a way to allow them to report to the curator or who is setting up the pipeline of how the overall quality of the videos were. So, for example, TA said the main challenge was not to pick the same videos because they're all pretty similar. So we suggest that in the future, designers should enable or add a feature that allows workers to self-report things that went wrong in the middle. And lastly, we find that workers had different strategies when they select videos. For example, T36 said, I picked a lot of videos with the vintage and old schools stuffed in it to match the theme. So we did some categorization of all the strategies reported by workers, but we don't find, because the number of data wasn't that significant, so we don't have any conclusion to draw upon them. So to sum up, this paper makes the following 4 contributions. A workflow that leverages automation and crowdsourcing to refine sets of user-generated videos as part of the curation process. And we also contribute insights and techniques that allow crowd workers to efficiently identify eye-catching and thematically relevant videos. And third, we implement a system Sifter that instantiate this approach and enable curators to focusing on the creative task or the task that requires more skills by handing off the time-consuming routine task to Sifter. And finally, we evaluate the system using 12 previously published stories, showing that Sifter can identify videos of comparable quality to those that identified by the curators staffed by the platform without need for expertise. Thanks for listening. Please read our paper for more details.